Welcome to Death on Clare Island, Chapter 16B. There's nothing like a decline in sponsorship to spike pressure. No wonder Nolan was tense. It could drive him to do anything. I opened the back door and made my second attempt at leaving when the phone rang once again. It was Peter this time. "I tried you earlier this morning," I said. "Oh, what time?" "It must have been about 9. I guess I was out walking. Sorry, I missed you. I'm on my way to Clear Island today." "You are? What's your plan?" "You sound surprised." I hesitated. Was I rushing our relationship? I hope he didn't think I was coming to Clear Island only to see him. "I'm planning on talking to Richard O'Malley again and trying to make better sense of Matthew's notes and how they relate to the terrain out there." "I'm not surprised, Star," Peter replied, "merely disappointed that I won't be here tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to Dublin. A rare handmade English grandfather clock dating from the 1600s has turned up. I've got to strike before anyone else snaps it up. I know someone who's been looking for one of these for a long time. I may make an extra commission on this if I can get my hands on it first." "Well, have a great trip," I said. In fact, I was disappointed, but I didn't want him to know that. "Will you be staying at the Lighthouse Cottage?" "No, since I only expect to be there overnight, I'm staying at the Sea Breeze. It's not far from the harbor and the hotel, so it'll be easy to get out to O'Malley at the Abbey early in the morning." "Do you think O'Malley knows anything significant?" "Well, he knows the island, and I have more information now than when we first met. Maybe with that and any suspicions he might have, I'll make some progress." Peter's sigh carried perfectly clearly through the line. "I hoped you'd have told Bridget by now that this is a dead-end matter." "But it isn't. I've definitely linked Matthew's activities before he died to a drug rehab program and a small-time local drug dealer named Alan Skye. When I figure out what on Clear Island interested Matthew so much, I think I'll be able to reconstruct what happened to him." "Promise me you won't do anything or go anywhere unless you've discussed it with me first," Peter said. "After what happened in Dublin the other day, someone should know your whereabouts at all the time." "Aunt Georgina always knows how to reach me," I told him. I imagined what he'd say if he knew about the anonymous threat that I'd received. "Listen, I'd like to have dinner with you again. I'll be back in Castlebar on Tuesday. Can I pick you up at 8? I smiled. "I'll look forward to it." "Great. See you then. And Star, be careful. Rough seas are forecasted." Remembering my comment about Aunt Georgina always knowing my whereabouts, I left a message on her home machine about my plans for the day. Placing the phone back in its cradle, I felt good about my decision to have dinner with Peter again. I'd never dated a man with dark eyes and hair the color of ebony. Chuckling to myself, I wondered how many other women had fallen under his spell. The Runa Pier was deserted. A few small boats bobbed up and down between the chop in the distance. I'd made a call to the harbor master earlier in the day to let him know that I'd received permission from the Sumners to board their boat. He'd agreed to meet me at the quay that afternoon. Not long after I arrived, he drove into the parking area and gave me a wave as he left from his car. "Hello? Are you Star O'Brien?" He covered the ground between us with the speed of a hare. "I don't have much time. I've got another appointment shortly in Lewisburg. I understand you have some questions." He spoke as fast as he walked. "This won't take too much of your time. The Sumners have asked me to investigate their son's death." "Oh, right. Poor lad. What can I tell you?" "I'm wondering about his use of the boat. Who might have been with him when he used it? Things like that." "Aye, he did use it, although I can't tell you very much. Take a look around." He raised his arm to indicate a wide sweep of the road leading to the quay. "This is a deserted area, miles away from the closest town. In fact, I don't even man the place full time. It's a part-time thing for me. I own a boat of my own, and the stipend keeps me in petrol." Shaking his head, he bent to pick up some empty soda cans before continuing. The Sumner lad did take the boat out, and the few times I saw him, it was at night. Once in a while, if I happened to be back here the next morning, I'd see that the boat hadn't returned yet, so he must have made overnight trips as well. Did he ever mention where he was going? No, we didn't talk much. He kept to himself, as do most of the folks around here. How about passengers? Did you ever see him with anyone? Oh, yeah, a few times he was with a fine-looking lassie. I assumed she was his girlfriend. Jet black hair and petite. Did you ever talk to her? Lord, no. The few times I said, "How are ye?" she turned away and ignored me. Very pretty, but had a kind of coldness, if you know what I mean. Now, that's all I can tell you. I have to get to town. Is there anything I can help you with regarding the boat? He pointed over to the general dock area. No, I know my way around boats. I'll take a look and get back to you if I have further questions. Right then. Be careful. The water's getting choppier. There's a nasty storm heading in. He vanished as quickly as he appeared. Then I noticed that he drove a Volkswagen Rabbit. Could there be a correlation, I wondered? The Sumner's boat was an offshore 44-foot island packet sailboat called Shroon. Seeing the name, I chuckled and thought of Philly. From the looks of the high-tech navigational equipment on the boat, the family business must be good. I took a quick look around topside before going into the interior. Several charts for the coastal waters and for Clare Island were clipped near the captain's chair. I used Bridget's key to turn the power on and check the fuel tanks. They were almost empty. I'd have to ask if she knew whether they'd been left full by her or her parents. When I stepped into the narrow companionway, I pulled its hatch down behind me for privacy. Unlike the meticulously organized topside, the berth area hadn't seen housekeeping in a while. The bed was unmade, with rumpled sheets and a duvet cover half hanging on the floor. Blonde and dark strands of hair commingled on the pillows. One of Sharon's business cards was stuck into the side of the mirror that hung on the back of the closet door. Sharon and Matthew must have been the most recent occupants, I decided. I became sure of this when I saw the dirty, salt-rimmed glasses in the kitchen galley. A glass-topped table had scratch marks and residual white powder. The result of making margaritas, or was it something more? Looking closer, the white substance looked granular to me, like sea salt. I wondered if the police had searched the boat. Probably not. Just as I reached forward to touch the granules, I heard footsteps crossing the boards above me. I held my breath and listened. Steady movement overhead. Perhaps it was the harbor manager. Maybe he'd forgotten to tell me something. I turned to head up the companionway and open the hatch. He might not even know I was down here. When I got to the stairs, the hatch was open, although I'd closed it. Cautiously, I made my way up, barely breathing. I peered toward the sky and inched my head above the opening. There was no one in sight. The boat rocked back and forth as I steadied myself and looked for the harbor master's VW Rabbit. But only my car occupied the parking lot. Clanging halyards slapping against the masts of boats in the yard clamored from the increasingly gusting winds. So it must have been the wind that lifted the hatch to the companionway. At least, that's what I told myself.